Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is Idioms 309. The title of the idiom today is to be laughing all the way to the bank. Okay, let's take a look at the note here. If we say that someone is laughing all the way to the bank, we mean that someone is making a lot of money or profiting a lot by doing something, especially from something that others may think is ridiculous, stupid, undesirable, or in one way or another objectionable. So for some reason or another they don't like it, but still they're making a lot of money. So they say, well, even though you think it's stupid or even though you think it's ridiculous, hey, look at all the money they're making. They're laughing all the way to the bank. Okay, let's continue. This phrase could be used in the opposite way. When someone unexpectedly loses a lot of money or didn't heed warnings or advice, and that caused them to lose a considerable amount of money. In this case, we say that one is crying all the way to the bank. Yeah, so you could hear that if somebody was writing about it, they would say, well, they didn't listen to the warnings, now they're crying all the way to the bank. So it could go both ways. You're laughing all the way to the bank when you make a lot of money, and you're crying all the way to the bank when you lose a lot of money. All right, let's continue here. Let's kind of look at the origin. They say the first sighting of this phrase was in 1908, so it's more than 100 years old now. It was in a book called Peter, a novel of which he is not the hero, by Francis Hopkinson. However, a quote by the famous pianist and singer Liberace, remember he was a famous piano player, helped to popularize this phrase. Many critics criticized his music, well, at least in the early days, and his response was, "Oh, cruel remarks made me so unhappy, I cried all the way to the bank." Now, he kind of mixed it up. He was being sarcastic, and he mixed it up. Even though he said, I cried all the way to the bank, he was being sarcastic, meaning that he made a lot of money. So even though you said terrible things about me, like, what do you know about music? The people like it. They bought my music. And he was kind of trying to make a joke out of it. So he kind of mixed it up. But it still helped to popularize the phrase, and then it was used both ways. Okay, so let's look. We have 3 examples of how we might hear it used today. Many questioned and criticized early investors in Bitcoin, or maybe even other cryptocurrencies as well. However, after its surging rise, after it went up really, really high, and it did this several times. Several times it went really high, then came back down, went up again, came back down. But each time it went up, it had higher highs, and it also had higher lows. It never really went back down to the low it was before. So still, criticized so they are laughing all the way to the bank. So even though a lot of people criticize them and question them, now they're laughing all the way to the bank. If they were one of those early investors, they probably just put $1,000 into it or several hundred, and they could become like millionaires. They're laughing all the way to the bank. All right, number 2. Many critics criticized the real-life version of the Lion King movie. But due to its box office success, Disney is laughing all the way to the bank. So even though the critics didn't like it, and we see this with a lot of movies, sometimes the critics don't like something, but hey, did very well at the box office. They made a lot of money from it, so they're laughing all the way to the bank, even though the critics said bad things about it. Okay, and number 3 here. After that storm wiped out homes in that area, home insurers are crying all the way to the bank, because maybe they insured a lot of these homes and now they're destroyed, and now they're going to have to pay out a lot of money to a lot of these people that had insurance. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. Hope it's clear. Hope it's informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.